So these trees, these are a completely different habitat for a different species. Now, in a spot like this, whether eye shining or just looking on the bark, is a great spot to find spiny tail geckos. We're not gonna see a centrillion. Oh, I'm getting stung by an ant. The centrillion are not gonna be up in the trees, only the spiny tails and potentially velvet or jeweled geckos. So we've got a number of targets we could come across. It's like looking for a needle in a haystack. Oh, here's one right here. Look, look, look. Right there, we got a gecko on the backside of this tree. Look at that, it's facing downward. I think that's a velvet gecko. Look at that, look at the tail, is beautiful.
Oh, moving. Oh, there it goes.
Got it.
Nice.
Got it. Yes, it's a velvet gecko. Oh, trying to bite me. Yes, ow! Look at that little chomp. I have to be extra careful with this gecko. They are so fragile. But look how beautiful that lizard is. Good size for a velvet gecko. You're pooping and biting. Two of the top defense maneuvers for all geckos, bite and poop. Now this guy doesn't have much power behind that bite. Oh, but the stink of the poop is something to write home about. You guys smell that? Oh, that is a mixture of all sorts of little insects and arachnids, I am sure. Now the name velvet gecko comes from the soft texture of this lizard's skin. And they're capable of changing the color of their skin. The chromatophores in the skin can shift rather quickly based on whatever the substrate is that they're hanging on. And when we first came upon this lizard, it was pointed down on the tree trunk. That hunting tactic allows it to stay camouflaged, and any insect that comes up the base of that tree trunk is gonna run straight toward its face and pop out that tongue, and it will have a meal. Now, when I first caught it, its immediate defense was, let me bite whatever's grabbing onto me. When that didn't deter me, obviously poop was the second defense. But like most geckos, the third defense would be to drop that tail. Now, you never want to grab a gecko by its tail, because if it loses its tail, that's actually a reserve fat supply. So right now during a drought, if this lizard has trouble finding water or even food, it can survive for an extensive amount of time based off the fat supply that is in that tail. All right, let me place this guy back up on the tree and we'll see what else we can find.
Exploring at night is a disorienting feeling.
There you go, buddy.
Especially in a location like this, because the landscape looks the same no matter which direction you turn. You can only see as far as your flashlight beam will allow, which is both scary and exciting.
The fact that the environment is burnt is not really an issue when it comes to finding lizards. Once they feel heat, they'll actually go into burrows underground and get below the heat line. Once the fire passes through, they come back out and they'll be fine. Right there, guys, right there, right under that bush. That's a knobtail gecko right there.
Oh.
You see it?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even see the eye shine, I just saw the skin. You see it?
It's huge.
Yes! Wow! Oh, buddy, look at you. Okay, let's catch that lizard before it gets into a burrow. Mari, you don't see a burrow on that side, dude. He's kind of tucked into those plants.
No, but he is moving. He's onto us.
Hold on a second, I gotta delicately get him out of there. Look at that. You see that defensive tactic right there? It senses us coming into the environment. He says, okay, let me crawl into these branches and maybe no one will be able to get me.
Just make sure there's no burrow.
Yeah, no, I don't see anything. We're good. These guys are not fast moving, but I do want to be really, really gentle. Got him. Okay, come here. Oh my gosh, it feels so cool. Yes. Oh, I got it. Oh my goodness. Yes. That is the jewel of the outback right there. A knobtail gecko. It is the most bizarre looking gecko I have ever seen. And the first thing that I notice is the fact that they do not have sticky pads. This is a strictly terrestrial species moving up and over these rocks. When I pick up a rock, look at that color similarity. Not only the shape of the body, but also the color are almost identical. So if you didn't know what you were looking for, you could walk right past this gecko. This lizard blends perfectly into its environment. As a semi-nomadic but mostly ambush-based predator, all they need to do is sit there and wait for their food to come to them. And look at the size of the head. Very powerful jaws, but the most unique feature is that tiny little nubbin of a tail. Have you ever seen a tail so adorable on a lizard? I don't even know what's going on with that tail. It goes down to a little point and then has this little tiny ball at the end. I know, buddy, I'm not making fun of it. I think it's so cute. And what's unique about this species, most geckos are capable of dropping their tails. This species is not. Now, the skin is just unlike anything I have ever seen. It's a mix between a bunch of pimples and prickers, and if you're real quiet, listen to this. It's interesting, the spikes run all the way, oh, I see you're just thinking about biting me. Those spikes run,
You got him.
You got me. I had a little bit of power in those jaws. I didn't taste real good though, did I? You can see how the jawline goes all the way back to the rear edge of the skull. These lizards are voracious predators, taking advantage of pretty much anything that they come across. That could be insects or arachnids, or even other small geckos will fall victim to a predator like this. But of course, this gecko also has to worry about other predators within the environment. This is a great meal for a snake or any nocturnal mammal that would be out hunting right now. So bizarre. One of the most unique lizards I think we have ever come across. In our epic search to find as many gecko species as we could, we certainly had to bounce from spot to spot throughout the Australian outback. But managing to come across a living rock like the knob-tailed gecko certainly made our search worth the effort. I'm Coyote Peterson. Be brave, stay wild. We'll see you on the next adventure.